Hi and welcome to another Moychai Mornings. I'm Dima and right now we're in the Moychai Tea Culture Club. So we're going to infuse a pretty special tea. It's actually the Krasnodar GABA Red Tea, which is a very interesting composition because GABA itself is a complicated process of making tea or fermenting tea in an anaerobic environment. So you basically have a vacuum chamber which is filled with a tiny bit of nitrogen, which causes the enzymes that are in tea to be converted into GABA. So next step, what is GABA? GABA is gamma aminobutyric acid, and it's an enzyme or a neurotransmitter that's also in your brain. And finding GABA in natural projects is super unique because tea is basically the only one where it occurs naturally, but you also have a lot of supplements and stuff like that, but that's completely different from a naturally occurring GABA source. So GABA is pretty relaxing, right? It also helps regulate anxiety, so that's very cool to also drink in the morning, but also in the evening, because it kind of calms you down. You get a lot of, I see smoke floating here. It kind of reminds me of that feeling, and you can really wind down with it. So let's infuse it because the taste of it reminds me personally of an oolong. Red teas are categorized by pretty well, actually, I'm going to warm it up first, of course. I already did, but it cooled down again. Red teas are categorized by having a red berry kind of sour sweetness, with also a bit of a tangy note, right? So having a bit of GABA in here is very cool because it kind of switches it into oolong mode, but it's very personal, and maybe your taste receptors may perceive it a bit differently. So let's get to the tasting. So right now let's go on to the taste notes. This tea is pretty sour sweet, and it's a great tea to get into and it's also a great tea to try and fit into small teapots. That's one of my favorite hobbies and pastimes, So right now mission is successful, wonderful. So actually I'm gonna close the lid right now and shake it a bit, right? Well, actually it's so stuffed that you can't really shake it, but normally you would do this to let it mingle with the steam inside, right? Because that would unlock different and an opened aroma, right? So you have the closed aroma when it's the dry aroma, but when you introduce steam to it, it goes onto a completely different level. And this tea is very sweetish. That's amazing to notice. So this is one of those tea which is naturally sweet, and that's amazing. You don't want any sweets after dinner. You can just drink this one and have all of them contained in a nice little package. So let's try to infuse it. The first infusion I'm not going to throw out. Sometimes you would do that because it could be a bit weak, right? But because I use so much leaves, I would like to drink it actually from our beautiful warmed up cups. Just take a second to appreciate actually this beautiful set. Really enjoy how they work together. Yeah, and its smell is also beautifully sweet, a bit floral with red berries, right? But this also reminds me of raisins, actually. Yes, and the taste is slightly sour. And then it envelops into a green sweetness, basically. So it's a very multifaceted tea and has a lot of different notes. Also, I believe quite affordable, right? So for a red GABA tea, this is quite nice also to start with. So if you would like to try out this tea, for example, in our store, you can always come by and we'll be happy to pour you a cup. This one can also be drunk for around 10 to 12 times, so it's great to enjoy. And if you would like more information, you can subscribe to our channel. You can expect much more educative and fun stuff, but also check our Instagram. There we have, for example, events, right? So we had a GABA event recently, and we'll have much more. So thank you for watching. Namaste, and I'll see you next time.